would it take for us to have Charlamagne ThaGod come speak on campus? And you know how we are. If you tell us you want something, we work very hard to find a way to do it. We are in the presence of someone who uses his voice and uses his opportunities every day to enlighten our culture. You guys already know who he is. Right? I don't need to do a bio where we talk about he's from South Carolina, or we talk about he's the hip-hop version of Howard Stern, or he's got the #1 syndicated hip-hop show, period. Because you know all that, right? You know you can see him every day on The Breakfast Club. Do you not know? I'm a little confused. They seem kind of mellow.
It might be high. Tomorrow 420.
I'm about to sit down, but before I sit down, I need you to give a Quinnite welcome to our very special guest, Charlamagne ThaGod.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I thought it might be interesting for you to maybe give the audience just some background about how you got to this point today.
Oh man, I mean that's a long story, but that's why you write books about it. But I mean, I'm from Moncks Corner, South Carolina. I mean, it's just one of those places where, you know, it's hard to transcend your circumstances simply because you don't see anything around you. Like, there's no motivation, no inspiration to do anything more than maybe work at a factory or something like that. So, you know, I would always read a lot because my mother was an English teacher, and that helped me transcend my circumstances. Definitely hip-hop music helped me transcend my circumstances because I'd be hearing about all these different places that I had never been before. And, you know, I was running the streets, in and out of trouble, you know, in and out of jail. And my father used to always tell me, if you don't change your lifestyle, you're gonna end up in jail, dead, or broke, sitting under the tree. So when I started actually going to jail and started seeing people around me actually getting killed, and started seeing people that I used to look up to actually literally sitting under a tree, broke, drinking beers every day, I'm like, yo, my pops is right. So it just came a point in my life where I did change my lifestyle. And I started working a lot of odd jobs. I worked at the mall, I worked at Taco Bell, I worked in the warehouse. I did anything I had to do other than to, you know, run the street. And I met this guy at a recording studio, because like many of us young brothers in the hood, at one point I wanted to rap. And I met this dude in the recording studio named Willie Will, and he actually did radio in Charleston, South Carolina. And I just simply asked him, how'd you get in the radio? And he told me that he started off as an intern. And I was like, is that easy? Now mind you, this is 1998 in Charleston, South Carolina, so you don't gotta go through all the red tape that a lot of y'all have to go through now. But I went down there and I got an internship in radio, and I haven't looked back since.
Let's give him a hand.
I had a DJ Khaled level of aggravation when it came to like things that I wanted. Like, I would always be around, I would always be in, you know, the other radio personalities' face. Like, I used to have to drive the station vehicle. So when, you know, you drive the station vehicle, like, you'll go with the radio personalities to different events and put up the posters and everything else. Sometimes, man, and I wasn't supposed to do this, but I would take the vehicle home just so no other intern could get it. So they would have to call me, which you weren't supposed to do. But, you know, I just had that kind of dedication to my craft. And I think the biggest thing that I learned as an intern is something that I've just learned throughout life, because my grandmother would always tell me, manners will take you where money won't. I used to always try to be a pleasure to be around. Like, you know, when I'm around these certain individuals, I want to be so nice to them and so accommodating to them that they would request me. And that's just something that I've always made a rule of thumb in my life, because even now with like different opportunities that may come up as far as television, radio, whatever, you know, one reason they may request me is because I might have a little bit of talent, but the other reason is because they actually enjoy working with me and being around me. So that's just something I learned as an intern a long time ago. I believe in the law of energy. You know, I believe that, you know, Sir Isaac Newton said energy is never lost or destroyed, it's merely transferred from one party to the next. So if you walk in the room and you got a negative attitude, nobody gonna want to deal with you. If you walk in the room and you got a positive attitude, they gonna love you. So I just always try to be as positive as possible in any position, not even just as an intern. Even when you're the CEO, the person sitting at the top, you should maintain that same energy. I mean, everybody in this room, we're just the sum total of our experiences. And I always say that, I got a principle in the book called, there's no losses in life, it's only lessons. That's why I never say you win or lose, you either win or you learn. And every time I got fired, I never look at other people and say, oh, it was their fault. I always try to look at what I did wrong first. I know for a fact the first time I ever got fired, it was all my fault. Because I was just like, cause I had an ego. I was young, I'm doing radio 20 minutes from my hometown, Moncks Corner, South Carolina. I'm still fresh off the block, and I was just on the radio Monday through Saturday, and I was just taking advantage of the so-called power. So it's like I was doing things I know I had no business doing. And when I got fired, I just knew that was God moving me away from that situation to give me a reality check. Now, every other time I got fired, it was absolutely not my fault. I wasn't doing anything, but I understood later on, as you grow in the radio business, you realize new program directors will come in, and new program directors want to hire their own people. And, the last time I got fired was in Philadelphia, 2010, I believe it was. And the guy who fired me, they told him, they said, look, I don't know why you firing this dude, right? But if it don't work, we sending you back to St. Louis. So he got sent back to St. Louis because it didn't work. And I actually put his name in the book because I needed him to know the mistakes that he made in his life. Okay? He needs to learn. He needs to learn the way I learned, okay?
How did the Breakfast Club concept come around?
It started with my guy G-Spin and Cadillac Jack. Both of them have moved on from iHeart right as of now, but it's interesting because I remember working with Angela Yee in 2009. We were shooting a pilot for BET. It was me, Angela Yee, and Little Duval, and it was like a hip-hop version of First Take. And me and Angela was at a hamburger spot that afternoon, and I said, Angela, one day me and you are going to do mornings on Power 105 in New York. I said that. I don't even know why I said it. I just saw that. I said, we're going to do mornings on Power 105. And she goes, how? She was like, you don't even have a radio job right now. I was fired. I wasn't even doing radio. And the talks first started with Envy, because Envy was already on Power 105. He was doing afternoons at the time. And he wasn't even in my equation. It was really just me and Angela. And then they asked me, when they started having conversations with me, who I wanted to be my co-host. And I said Angela Yee. So I guess that's when they decided we want these three to be it. Because Envy was already like a New York staple, so they wanted him to be like the anchor, a voice people are really, really familiar with. And we're here now. It worked. Y'all don't know, man. Y'all could be speaking life or death into y'all situations. So I really do believe in the power of the tongue. So anything that I want to happen in my life, I constantly speak about. The things I don't want to happen, I don't speak about at all. So when I told Angela we were going to do mornings on Power 105, it happened.
You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Oh, he said that thing. But see, that's you. That's you being in your own head. Because like I told you earlier, you are the poster child for whack rappers. If they want to say somebody's whack, they say you.
You're not the poster child for whack rappers.
It happens. No. It happens every few years. It was Trinidad James at one point.
Whoa, that's what I'm in?
Yes, perception-wise.
That was taken out of context just a little bit. He's talking about Little Yachty, but I wasn't telling him that. I was saying that that's how people see him. Like when you think of whack rappers, who's the first person that comes to your mind right now at this moment?
Yachty.
That's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't saying I thought he was whack. I was just saying, Soulja Boy was before Yachty. That's what I was explaining to him too. You had Trinidad James. He was the poster boy for whack rappers at one point. Then it was Soulja Boy before Trinidad, and now it's Yachty. So it wasn't like I was actually saying that to him. I was just making him aware of his perception. Yes.
Sir Trevor, now today you're with Charlamagne.
I know, look at that. See, look, I hang out with black people. I bet you're surprised, right?
Black Lives Matter.
Can you guys still be friends if you disagree on certain subjects?
See us, we're walking down the street right now. Of course.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely.
You caught a lot of heat not too long ago about some of the comments about Tommy Lahren. And maybe you can tell the crowd just about how that came about, the point you were actually making, and how people took it and what you took from that experience.
Well, yeah, the lesson I learned in that is that every conversation isn't for social media. That's why I have a radio show and a podcast, because you can explain things in more nuance. And, you know, the tweet basically was saying that I thought it would be dope if a woke woman of color used social media and created a platform to control her narrative and become a voice like Tommy Lauren did. Because Tommy Lauren was a voice on the conservative right, and I just feel like we needed a voice for our community. Never did I say I want anybody to be like Tommy Lauren, because all our sisters are way brighter and smarter than Tommy damn Lauren. But I was just saying I wanted the platform. I wanted that infrastructure. That's what I feel like we needed. So that just got blown all the way out of context. I mean, that went from me saying that to Charlamagne hates black women. And that is probably the most, honestly, that's the most insulting thing anybody could ever say to me. Because it's like, you telling me I hate black women, you telling me I hate my mother, you telling me I hate my sisters, my aunts, my wife, my daughter. Like, what do you mean I hate black women? Like that, I'm not gonna front, that hurt. That hurt. But I am not above my community checking me if they feel like I was out of line. I'm not above if my community checking me if they feel like I'm moving the wrong way. Because we do have a history of brothers getting in positions and then selling out. So if y'all see me in the sunken place, flash me with the camera. Pull out the camera and flash me with the light. I'm not mad at that. Nah, man, I have no problem with constructive criticism. I feel like that's what we should be doing. If we claim to be the community that we are and we claim to be the family that we are, then we should check our people when we see them moving the wrong way. Or even if we're doing something and we don't understand what they're doing, like, yeah, yo, what the hell are you doing? Like, you see somebody coming out of Trump Towers, Steve Harvey, what are you doing? Kanye West, what are you doing? We want to know. Jim Brown, what are you doing?
Before we do that, what are some of the books that inspired you? I mean, books that you read that changed your thought process and made a big difference in your life?
First one that comes to mind is a book called From Niggas to Gods by Akil. I think every brother in here should read that book. Of course, the autobiography of Malcolm X. I love to tell people that, you know, Malcolm X was once Malcolm Little. That's why you got to give people the chance to grow and evolve, because you never know what people are going to be. Y'all don't do that no more, though. Y'all just hold people's past against them. Social media will not let a person grow whatsoever. A person can be the CEO of a company now. Y'all will bring up something from high school. Like, remember when you did this? This is who you are. Like, no, that's who I was 20 years ago. Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. You know, that's another great read. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I'm real big on Toltec wisdom. I love the Four Agreements, the Fifth Agreement. Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukov. 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Like, those are transformative, you know, bodies of work that actually changed my whole mindset.
So, with that in mind, how did you come up with the theme of this book and the title?
Well, I wanted to create a self-help book because I'm real big on self-help books. And, you know, a lot of the books I just named, you know, from Robert Greene, I'm big on Malcolm Gladwell as well. Like, they use a lot of historical context to back up their laws and their principles. I'm simply not that smart. So I use historical examples from my life to back up these 8 principles that I feel like I've learned and now I want to share with the people. And like, you know, the whole title, Black Privilege, I simply feel like it's a privilege to be black. And I feel like when you're talking about black privilege, you're talking about something spiritual. When you talk about white privilege, you're talking about something systemic. And I feel like we have access to a divine system that allows us to prosper in spite of all the obstacles that are thrown at us in this country. And you know, the subtitle, Opportunity Comes to Those Who Create It. Yo, we live in the greatest era right now to create your own opportunity. I mean, if you want to be a broadcaster, you can just start your own podcast. If you want to be a VJ, you can set up a camera in your house and do YouTube videos. If you're an entrepreneur, you can sell your t-shirts on social media and be shipping them out to Africa. Like, I know brothers who got I shout out these brothers all the time, but they got a trivia card company. I don't know if y'all seen them, the Martin trivia cards and the Fresh Prince trivia cards. These dudes have created a 6-figure business off just social media. So like, we just live in this era where opportunity is so easy to create and you can make a profit off it. So that's the whole concept of the book, period. That's the theme.
So in the book, you've got some things called God's jewels.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing a couple of your favorite God's jewels.
What are some of the God's jewels? Like a lot of them are like just little antidotes, you know, that I learned in my life. Like, you know, live your truth so nobody can use your truth against you. You know, that's like the Eminem and 8 Mile theory. You know, that's like if you ever seen that movie, at the end of it, B-Rabbit said everything about himself that his opponent could possibly say. The opponent was left speechless. He ain't have nothing to say. You know, to me that's like when people have a perception of you. So once you tell them the perception of you that they have, and you own it, you're like, yeah, that is me actually. And not only that might be me, here's some other things that may be me. It's basically, you're just revealing your true character. Let people have their perception, but when you reveal your true character, this is who I am, you own it, their opinion of you won't even matter. Like, it's done. And another God jewel I have is give people the credit they deserve for being stupid, including yourself, because that's like the know-it-all knows nothing, you know, theory. It's like, you know, I'm too dumb to be closed-minded. So every day I wake up and I'm receptive to new information. I'm receptive to meeting new people who can teach me new things. And that's how you grow, that's how you evolve constantly in life.
Can you give some examples about how you've made your own way by the choices that you've made? I know you shared some of them, but maybe some of the critical ones at certain points.
Yeah, everything's about choice. You know, a lot of times, you know, we talk about the system being against us, and in a lot of ways it absolutely is, but nobody told me to sell crack. I knew better. You know, my father was telling me forever that, you know, look at these guys. These guys are going to end up in jail, dead, broke, sitting under the tree. You're going to be right with them if you choose to make those same decisions. So yeah, when I started making those poor choices, those are the things that happened.
What made you make those choices? Because you had a father who was engaged, and was telling you the right way, but you still turned away from that. What was going on at that point?
I mean, just peer pressure. Those are the people that I was around. Because like I had cousins who were athletic and they were playing sports, so I didn't fit in with them. And then, you know, I had the cousins who were like super smart and then, you know, really focused on school, but I was kind of in that weird phase of being a class clown and causing disciplinary problems, so I wasn't really fitting in with them. Or not fitting in with them, they didn't want to be around me. Neither one of them wanted to be around me because I was confused. So the only people that really kind of embraced me was the street guys, like my cousins that weren't doing anything but looking for trouble. So it's just like, that's what I gravitated towards. So it went from disciplinary actions in school, getting suspended, then eventually getting expelled. And then once you out there in them streets, you like, I ain't gonna sit around here and watch y'all make money. Give me a pack, you know. Let me go sell some crack too. So it was just really the people I was around at the time, and the music, man. Because sometimes you listen to that music, and that music makes selling dope sound so good. Like UGK, Pocket Full of Stones, and, you know, Master P came with the Bout It, and all of that stuff like that. Like it sounded good. It looked good at the time. So that's what I was doing.
There's some authors that don't write their books.
Mm-hmm.
They use ghostwriters. You actually wrote your book.
I did. My man Chris Morrow, you know, Chris is an author, and I would sit down with him and do this. Like, he'd be asking me questions, and, you know, then he would transcribe it. I just didn't like it. It didn't sound like me, so I would just wake up on Saturday mornings and start writing. Because I always wrote. And I used to write for Ozone Magazine, and I've always wrote blogs and stuff like that, write stuff for other people. So I just woke up every Saturday morning and just started writing my own stories. I mean, I know my principles, I know the things I believe, I know the books that I've read that I wanted to reference, and I would just write it, send it to him, and then he would structure it into a book form.
So we have a lot of people here that are dying to ask you questions. All right, so where are our microphones? All right, who wants to go first?
I'm from South Georgia, and I know Monk's Corner, so
okay.
I grew up on the dirt road too.
There you go.
I'm Cardi. I'm from Millennial Love, a podcast here in Dallas, and I know you just talked about how opportunity is all around us. You can start a YouTube channel, your own podcast. How do you set yourself apart in a market that's saturated?
I think you should just be yourself, because the one thing about saturated markets, it always needs a new you. But if you're doing everything that you hear everybody else doing, and you're doing things because you see them working for somebody else, then you're really not being yourself. Like, I like authentic, fresh voices. Like, all the podcasts I listen to are people that I know nobody else can do them better than them. Like, I love to read. I love Kid Fury and Crystal. I love, when Taxstone was out, I love Taxstone. Like, those are just unique individual voices. Like, they were truly themselves. So I tell everybody, just truly be yourself, and you'll cut through. Or talk about something that I can't get nowhere else. Like, I'm either big on content that's very creative and funny, or content that I can learn from. So, what can you teach me, or how can you entertain me? It's just that easy.
I actually don't even go to Paul Quinn, so my love for you is real.
Thank you.
But my question is, sorry guys.
They about to turn on you. They're like, how she get in
It's
there?
okay.
She ain't got no student ID.
It's okay.
I saw her in the cafeteria earlier.
I bought my book. I'm good.
Thank you.
So my question to you is, aside from selling crack and going to jail and all that, anything else that you would have changed or along your personal journey or done different?
I feel like everything happened the way that it was supposed to happen. I learned from each and every so-called negative experience that I've been through. I talked in my book about divine misdirection. And one of the things that I would always hear when I would get fired was, we're moving in another direction. And then my homegirl, Kendra G, she told me one day, she said, yo, it's not them moving you in another direction, it's God moving you in another direction. So it's kind of like, you seen the movie Back to the Future, right? Like, Back to the Future, one little thing can change, history. So I wouldn't change anything. I think everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen.
All right, so when you look at your interviews and you look at the post-game footage, are there ever times where you say, oh, why didn't I ask this, I should have asked that,
All the time. All the time. Because you know what it is, man, when you're in the room, and like it's three of us, it's me, it's Angela Yee, it's DJ Envy. So an artist will say something, and in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm about to say this, and then somebody else might jump in with a question, and then when they jump in with their question, the conversation may go somewhere else, so I may forget to bring it back to what I wanted to ask, but that literally happens all the time.
What real questions would you have had for Birdman?
We got a special guest in the building.
He done cursed us out. Tell him, get it off your chest, Birdman.
I said it already. I ain't got to talk no more.
Cause I don't understand the angle. Like what?
I said it already.
So why come here?
I did it already. I'm here. So what's happening?
It's all good, but I'm saying why?
And I'm here. What's happening?
So what's the issue?
No sugar. Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you'll feel me. When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
Did you pull up on Ross that way or Trick Daddy?
Man, I'm pulling up on you, nigga.
Yeah, but I'm the radio guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? Don't act tough with the radio guy.
I hear you, my nigga. Y'all finished or y'all done?
One of my questions always, I write down 10 questions that I feel like I have to ask, and then I let the conversation go wherever it needs to go. But one of my questions was, did you pull up on Rick Ross or Trick Daddy? That was literally going to be one of my questions. Because he had did this video a while ago where he was on stage at Club Live, and he was like, oh, I got something to say, I'm gonna pull up on y'all. Birdman did. So I said, that was one of my questions. When you gonna pull up on Rick Ross or Trick Daddy? So he just kind of like set me up with a question I already had in my mind.
I just want to say thank you for coming to my city. Big inspiration. Because of you, I read 48 Laws. Because of you, I read Outliers.
Okay.
Because of you, I read the 4 Agreements.
There you go. But are you gonna read Black Privilege though?
Yeah. I took off of work.
All right.
I took off of work. I work at the fire station right around the corner to come see you.
Thank you, man.
I'm not gonna have time.
Who's at the fire station? Our neighborhood's in jeopardy because you're in here.
The city always takes care of. The city always takes care of. But I'm not gonna be around too much longer because I gotta get back to work. And I want to get my book signed before I head on back.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Let's get him taken care of, okay? Hey, CJ, you got it. Where you going?
I heard you mention like branding, and I wanted to know, how did you brand yourself, and what tips can you give to us college students when we're trying to brand ourselves?
I don't believe in branding yourself. I feel like people should brand you. You know, whatever content you're presenting, whatever product you're presenting, I really think it's up to the people to brand it. Because I think that when you say you're something, then you're stuck in that something. You know, when you say you're something, then you become a caricature of yourself. Like you're not even your true authentic self anymore, because you're just being what you think people want you to be. So I don't believe that we shouldn't brand ourselves, you know what I mean? I think you should just always be your true authentic self and let people come to their own conclusions. Because the biggest thing you want in the branding department is, do you like it or do you don't like it? Like, it's just that simple. And guess what? You might be one of those people that sometimes they like and sometimes they don't. I know I'm that type of person. You know, so I don't necessarily believe in saying you should brand yourself. I just think you should be your true authentic self and put out the best possible product you can deliver.
How important is dreaming in this day and age? And better yet, how do you take that dream from just a mindset or from a goal to reality?
I was in the kitchen one day when I first got my internship at radio, and I'm talking about all these things that I want to do. And she comes in there and she says, you know, you shouldn't set your goals so high. You shouldn't dream so big, because if you don't accomplish it, then you're gonna be disappointed. And I was like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. I'm being totally honest with you. You know, so I feel like you should just dream massive. Because even if you don't get to that ultimate dream, you're gonna get somewhere. So the dream is the key. The dream is when you initially plant that seed, but it's up to you to fertilize that seed and make that seed grow. And you make that seed grow by working towards whatever that dream is that you got. Great question.
For those who couldn't hear me ask, what albums inspired him and why?
Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, because I never heard a brother talk with that much confidence, and like, he just sounded like he had a plan and nothing was going to deter him from that plan. One thing you learn from brothers like Jay-Z is that they always believed in themselves. And I really think that's the biggest key to success. The biggest key to success is believing in yourself. Like, I mean, Jay-Z used to always say on his records, he would ask a simple question. I don't even know if you were paying attention, but it was like an ad-lib, where he'd always ask, do you believe? And I really just feel like that's the key. Like, if you don't believe, who is? You know, you can't expect other people to believe in you. You can't care about something more than you care about it yourself. So just whenever you meet any of those guys, the Jay-Z's, the Diddy's, like sitting down talking to people like Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, like they truly believe in themselves. They believe in the things that they're saying. They believe in the things that they stand on. And I think that's how you truly just become successful.
We got Sherman.
Yes, I'm Sherman Redmond. I'm running for SJ president. Just want to throw that out there.
There you go.
My question is, what type of advice would you give to anybody that aspires to have a platform or has a platform already?
Make sure you want that platform for the right reasons. You know, like that's the biggest thing. You know, contrary to popular belief, I've always tried to use the platform to uplift and enlighten. Even when I was doing radio way back in Columbia, South Carolina, like the first time I ever interviewed Minister Farrakhan was 2005. And I remember my program director at the time telling me, I don't think you should air that. And I said, well, I don't think you know what you're talking about. So I aired it, because I just feel like our people need to hear that kind of stuff. So when you got a platform, just make sure you want it for the right reasons, and make sure you're using it for the right reasons.
So my question is this, because we do a lot of empowerment with African Americans too. When you attempt to empower African Americans, do you get more pushback from black people or people who are not black? Because what we see a lot of times when we get into the community is some of the most rejection and the pushback that we get is from our own people. So do you receive the same thing, and if so, what's your response to that?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I can say it's my own people, because the truth of the matter is the people who would push back on me empowering black people, they're not gonna say nothing. They the silent killers. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's funny when people say I'm not for the black cause, because it really would benefit me more to not be. You know what I'm saying? It would benefit me more not to bring a Minister Farrakhan on the show. It would benefit me more not to bring Dr. Umar Johnson on, or Tariq Nasheed, or David Banner, or Dick Gregory, or any of these people. So yeah, it seems like you're getting more pushback from your people, but that's only because we louder. That's all. We louder. We loud about nothing a lot of times. But one thing that we have to learn to do is silence the noise and focus on the people who are being receptive to the information. Focus on the people who actually do want to learn. Focus on the people who do want to be empowered. Because one thing about people who really do want to be empowered, they're gonna show and prove by actions and deeds, not words and lip service.
What's one word you would use to describe yourself?
That's a good question.
I really don't know. The first thing came to my mind was confused. but I think it was your question because I really started thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know, because it is no. I honestly just try to be as authentic as possible, regardless of how people feel or how authentic is what I would like to say. I'm always aware of whatever emotion I'm feeling or how I'm feeling, and I express that at all times. I think that's what keeps people authentic.
What are some trials and tribulations that you deal with in your position?
The pivotal moment was when I was doing radio in Columbia, South Carolina, and Wendy Williams and her husband hired me to be her co-host. And I talk about that in the book, because that was such a pivotal moment, because her husband was like, we can't pay you, but we can give you a place to stay. And I took that, because a lot of times now, especially in this generation, kids don't recognize opportunity unless there's a paycheck attached to it. Like, I knew that if I took that job, that position, I could write my own too. And that's exactly what happened.
You had those family members that wanted to take your success. What kept you apart from that?
I don't think it necessarily kept me apart. It's just that the ones that's supposed to come with you gonna come. Like, it's just gonna be a natural evolution, a natural growth that happens with you. And the ones that aren't supposed to come with you, they're gonna fall by the wayside. So everybody can't come, man.
You must buy a book. You should not come places, soak up all the free knowledge, and then not make an investment and be a blessing to someone who's blessed you. All right, so let's make sure we buy books. Number 2, we got a couple gifts for you.
Yes, sir.
First gift, Miss Paul Quinn and Jaleesa.
Charlamagne, we just want to thank you for coming out today. You didn't have to take the time out of your day to speak to us, but you still did. So on behalf of the Quinnite Nation, we want to give you and your wife this gift basket.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, and we know that you talked about that you didn't have an opportunity to go to college, right? But we believe that you should. So we're giving you an admissions letter to Paul Quinn College. So welcome to the Quinnite Nation.
Thank you. Can I take online classes? They got online classes?
We can work it out.
Okay.
All right, we can work it out. So can we give a big round of applause to the newest Quinnite, Charlamagne ThaGod.
Nina. Yeah.